Hello, good evening, SG5. And yeah, we've got Link to the Past Randomizer League Season 6 going. It's JKLOL versus SaHa's kids. Leoria and Kazdin versus Mike and Pi and Talon. I'm Radical Sniper 99, joined tonight by MyNDM with Professor Pixie and Winfox 470 on tracking. Hello, MyNDM.
Hey, Jesse. Your team is in this. Gil is dodging you. He swears that he's not, but we all know the truth. And yeah, other than that, we've got Game 2 in the Week 1 co-op AD matchup between these two teams. It ought to be a lot of fun. Game 1 went to JKLOL by, what, a minute and a half, I think it was?
Yeah, that's about the margin we were told. Apparently all of Kakariko Division did really, really close game ones. So... And it does look like, it looks like we're frozen, but I do see Quake and Sank and Bottle with a B in Link's house.
It's fine. We'll get it all sorted out here in a minute.
Yep. This is fine.
Yeah, in the meantime, this is an Invitational League matchup. JKLOL has been up here. This is, what, your second year in the Invitational?
Yeah.
And SaHa's kids earned their invite by going through the Open League playoffs last season. So, yeah, a couple of relatively new Invitational teams duking it out here on a Friday night.
Yeah, the SaHa's kids were actually, I think they were, the wild card in last season in Open. And so, their jump into Invitational League, quite the big step, given how close that was for them. Kazen giving a SaHa's Closet, nothing there. Leo is in CAC, so is Pi, and Talon is doing South Shore. I'm guessing Kazen might join Talon down there.
That's a pretty spicy hook shot there on the bottle vendor, by the way.
And I do like that sword I see outside of the dam.
Gives you some good options. Makes Mini Moldorm Cave a whole lot easier, amongst other things.
Yeah. And actually, it looks like Kazen is going to come in. I don't know what he's searching for there. He's got bombs.
Maybe trying to check the guard prize pack, see if he can find a little more money so that he can just hit the bottle vendor in stride. I don't know.
Well, if not, Leo's found some money, and she's found a mirror there in Blind's hut, so... I guess there was also a sword in here in Blind's hut, because I see a sword marked off for Pi as well. Yep, a sword in the back, so that's easy. Quick 2 swords.
Looks like blue mail. Oh, no, never mind. I missed the boots. I was not looking at the very beginning of those checks. Talon has pulled boots out of Mini Moldorm Cave to go along with that blue mail.
Very nice early find.
And in co-op info share, we talk a lot about division of labor, trying to split checks up to not be in the same place at the same time too often, and you see a little bit of it here. Not that JKLOL is going to miss those terribly long. The next thing that one of these two runners is going to do, either Leoria or Kazdin, is just get down there onto South Shore and start doing those checks. That's where your little chunk of density is.
And I mean, I like the fact that, I think bringing Kazdin to CAC made a little bit of sense, saying, hey, you've got a bottle.
Yeah, come on over, make the check, see if I have to run back for that later, but now with the mirror, even if it is anything, you can just make the check later.
And Talon, I believe, is setting up for the delayed water walk here.
Rydia player after my own heart, this is definitely something that I prefer normally, but when you don't necessarily have the Zora money, I think it makes more sense just to kind of earn it, go into Waterfall first, and then come running back out to make this check.
Yeah, there's really no chance for Talon to make that money between here and the Waterfall. He needs what, 2-300s or 300. I mean, at this point, still tons of money to go.
Yeah, it's a 300 and another 50 at least, if I'm reading those slightly pixelated numbers properly.
Yeah, 150 away, or 350 away at this point. Okay, so I believe that was a lamp and $20.
Lamp,
Now,
20 bucks,
Kaizen's
that
coming in.
refill's pretty decent.
Yeah, Kaizen coming in here, gonna get his sword. And apparently the shield. But he'll probably go over to Mini Moldorm Cave at this point.
So I have to think Talon's play now is go and pick up all of those things that your partner already found in the village.
Yeah,
and check the bonk rocks because you've got these boots and have had for a hot second.
Yep. And that's the thing, Talon getting to hit those checks early on the other side of things. Or gonna hit Bottle Vendor as well.
And oh look, now your lamp's in logic because you just take your boots to the bonk rocks and get your flippers.
Works for me. I am a little surprised that Pi didn't rush boots.
So am I.
Like, that's info that you get from Talon, and I'm kind of like, you gotta go after those.
Especially when your next intended play is into the castle, where that's one of those things that people like, right? That's the casual boot start versus a regular standard start. You can run through the castle. Ooh, that's
Nice flute, though. I'll be curious to see how Leo routes after this. Like, she now just got boot info. So, like, for her, there's going to be a bit of a mixed bag of, do you go activate that flute immediately, or do you get your boots immediately? And I think part of this depends on what Kaizen can tell her. Like, if Kaizen says, like, hey, you know, can say maybe that the flippers, like, if he can get to bonk rocks before her, possibly, but like I could see her just as easily saying, I'm rushing for flute activation first.
Hi, working on this Dark Cross item. Oh, alright, small key.
Not a terrible find.
This is yet another one of those reasons that I'm really surprised he didn't just go ahead and rush the boots, because that makes all of this better. Especially now that he's getting kind of sucked all the way through the escape sequence in the dark.
Yeah. And this is that route you were saying for Kaizen. He checks the ledge and then is routing back over to the hobo check. And so Pi has reached the back of escape. We know it's in logic with that that lamp. And there's the pearl. Oh wow. Thinking here.
A lot of indications of early Aga here, Jesse.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
And that's not the worst thing in AD. It's you can get to the end of one of these things and say, don't forget to do Aga, but if you just kind of get pushed into it like this, it's kind of nice to just have it off the table. The Flipper's hookshot combo gets you across the river, so you can at least try to divide up a little bit.
And that's the thing, like if I'm in these runners' shoes, I think what I'm doing is, you know, Kaizen's gonna get his flippers. But like if I'm Kaizen, I might be like, okay, like I'm gonna head to the front of escape and I'm gonna just do front of escape into Aga. And I think if you're Leo, I think you get your flute activated and get your boots, and then go up the mountain.
And go up the mountain, yeah.
Yeah. Like, there's your division of labor right now. This is co-op all dungeons, so our runners are in a voice call with their teammate, and they must do every dungeon. All pendants, all crystals, Aga 1, and GT before being able to kill Ganon. So yeah, Leo had, got her flute and Pearl and is going to do Mini Moldorm Cave first, finding out that I guess with those flippers where they are, not a bad idea to get her boots first. Just picking up everything. Is she gonna get the lamp now as well? Interesting. Would have thought getting that from the flute activation, or after flute activation, might have been a little better.
And apparently there was a map check, and our eagle-eyed trackers were unable to decipher it. I didn't even notice it, so they're still miles ahead of me.
Yeah, let me see if I can find out. Red Crystal Eastern, Pendant Desert, and Regular Crystal Hera. I had a feeling that my own team did map checks, so they did. Looks like we do have a little bit of a hiccup again, but what I can say is it looks like Kazdan is heading to Aga Tower as I expected. Leo is going to be heading up the mountain. Talon also in Aga Tower. And Pi is up on the mountain.
Calling a stationary image really is one of the more difficult challenges in restreaming a match, isn't it?
Yeah, just a little bit. What I can say is I see Pi is up in Hera right now. Looks like he found a bow somewhere along the way. Talon is into the Aga fight. Leo got her bow as well. Looks like it was inside a Spectacle Rock. And Kazdan is coming up on his Aga fight as well. So JKLOL just a little bit behind, and really just because of those boots.
Seems as though Pi has found a third sword somewhere as well, along the way up here. There aren't all that many checks that have happened. It's just the old man rescue, maybe. Probably, given that you've got the lamp.
Yeah, that and probably Hera are the options.
Yeah. And first dungeons on the board for both of SaHa's kids, Pi with Hera and Talon, the first between Kasten and Talon out of the Aga Tower climb.
Okay, I will say, by the way, I know Gilgamesh was saying, how can he dunk on his teammates? I just saw Pi's screen for a second here. He jumped off the ledge on Death Mountain and landed between two rocks without a glove. So there you go, Gil.
Talon, as expected, is going to use that flipper hookshot combination and get over into West Dark World.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think you work that back into your, you work that back towards Kakariko and your flute activation, and, you make all those checks along the way.
Yeah, and especially with the co-op info share aspect, you've seen the bow on your partner's side. You know that diving into Pod Eastern is even less incentivized than it might otherwise be. There is a fire rod in King's Tomb. Talon has it. Kasten has it right now. Here we go. Okay, so our restream is a little behind the personal streams that we've been trying to keep you updated with. Please, Kasten, don't... I saw Kasten freeze on that screen transition. I said, please, please, restream machine, don't do it to me again. Please, restream machine, don't do it to me again. Interesting. So, Pi did not do Hera Basement for the big key to get whatever the item is, apparently, out of the big chest, because Leoria is on the way to just that, I think.
Yeah, it does look like it. Because she did not open the big chest, so...
Unsurprisingly, the two runners who found the fire rod working towards Skull Woods here.
Makes a lot of sense. Looking at Leo's personal tracker, I don't see anything new on her side.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that there was any big change there, so it must have been small denominations of cash or something along those lines.
Yeah. But as we could see, Pi heading into Eastern Palace with Kazdan and Talon both working through Skull Woods here. Interesting, that there's pretty much a copy between the two sides here.
They do seem to have split things up pretty much exactly the same way, and it's the way that you would expect with one runner getting into the Dark World via Aga and the other one doing additional Light World checks, getting up onto the mountain with the flute, going over to Eastern Palace with the bow that they found up on the mountain.
And we're going to see some really interesting fights here. Both Talon and Kazdan, 5 hearts coming up on the Moth. But I will say that I believe both of our runners do have blue mail.
Both Blue Mail and Talon, at least, checked the bottle at the Waterfall Ferry, which was vending blue potions. So,
And I think Kazdan did as well.
Did that as well. And both Talon and Kazdan, that's not an easy thing to do, is it? Or let's safely through that moth fight, man. You've got the kind of similarity on the beginning, and then you've got the in on the end, and like Gundam and Talon and Leoria, right? That would be easy, isn't? Any other combination would be just fine, I think.
Right? It does look like, from what I can see, that Kazdan's made up a little bit of time. I can see they're both into Village of Outcasts at this point, so probably making strides against Talon. And I don't think that's too shocking. I know Kazdan's probably a little bit stronger on his execution. Meanwhile, I do see Leo and Pi both into Eastern. The only difference there really is Leo having collected her lamp already.
Having collected the lamp, and judging by Pi's personal tracker, there is still an item outstanding in Hera for SaHa's kids.
Yeah, so probably not a big deal unless that causes Talon to have to clear the basement later as like a safety maneuver.
And now we found the other bow. Talon and Kazdan have pulled the second bow, or their first bow, as it were, in the early checks of Thieves Town. I'm glad those weren't restreamed, and Pi is too. Those were some of the most hideous dashes across desert that I've ever seen.
Yeah, a little rough. Those dash lines, if you know what you're doing, can look pretty smooth. If not, it gets a little ugly.
Pi has cleared Eastern. Incidentally, Leo is now in the top of it, heading for the Knights.
Yeah, a little easier for her with that lamp to get through the dark portion. It didn't look like it gave Pi too much trouble, though, so... And Leo just getting those extra arrows. Meanwhile, Pi does get his lamp, trying to fill both of his bottles right now.
Have a little emergency blue on hand for just in case. 2 really ought to see you through the game.
Yeah. A little bit of an adventure there for Leo on her Armos fight, but does get through it. Should be following Pi momentarily into Aga Tower. I will say, just so everybody knows, the screen's about to just completely fade for a little bit. We do have some help looking into things on the restream here, so don't worry, the screen will go black, but it should come back up momentarily. Okay, well, what I can see here on SG5 is you guys have the race now, and I hear audio. As you can see, we've got blind fights going. And Leo and Pi are both in Aga Tower. Kazin made up a little bit more time on Talon once again here in Thieves, it looks like. I did see a hammer coming out of Hype Cave there, so that is a fully accessible and clearable. And there's our first glove as well, Stumpy. Oh boy.
The pieces are finally starting to come together.
And as I can see, like, it looks like Leo made up even a little bit more time on Pi in Agate Tower. So, like, Kaizen and Leo playing a little bit from behind just because of those boots. And based on what I'm guessing is just a little bit of execution, are slowly closing those gaps.
Now, it does seem like Pi has kind of switched over to follow mode here a little bit, while Leoria is now into pod.
Interesting choice here. Like, yeah, she would know where that hammer is. I would have thought she would have delayed a little bit on the pod play.
Looking at personal trackers, it looks like Kasten has taken the Swamp Palace with the Spexy statue bait and has not been to Hype Cave yet to see that hammer.
Okay. Interesting choice. A little bit cleaner for him to do it that way. Okay, it looks like we're back again. Thanks for bearing with us tonight, folks. And yeah, Pi's actually...
Jesse.
I know.
You said something. You had to say something. Ah, c'est la vie. Now, Kasten did go straight to the back here in Swamp. Talon headed for left side Swamp first, so maybe a little more thorough, depending on whether or not Kasten wants to go do those checks. That's,
Well, the thing is that I know Kazen got map and compass out of Diver Down, so... Would not shock me that he goes back in. Meanwhile, we've got Pi coming up on the Moth. Wasn't sure if he was going to rush this fight, given the fact that, you know, I don't think we saw anything really out of Skull Woods.
I think it's more of we're just starting to see the dungeon cleanup with Pi getting into follow mode.
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe that's something that they decided after game 1 that they wanted to get him into follow mode a little more quickly than they did previously.
But nice moth fight there for Pi. Leo's still working through the back of Palace of Darkness here. She's going to have a good route for Kazdan here. But unfortunately, going to be a double dip for her. I mean, what are we running down to at this point, you know? Like, Pod's gonna have mitts, right? Oh, did Pod have a glove, actually?
Looks like the answer.
Pod did have a glove.
Well, someone did, anyway.
Yeah, because... Because I see a glove on Leo's tracker, so that is where our mitts are going to be for probably, well, definitely for Kazdan, and Talon will probably have their next as well.
Yeah,
and once again,
expect that's Talon's next play.
Yeah. Oh, and I guess we got a book out of Swamp. I'm just hoping Kazdan doesn't find himself rushing for the desert here.
With the density of Hype Cave still on the table, I can't imagine it. That seems pretty unlikely. But Talon is going to go for it.
And that's... See, the surprise there is, like, the glove being over in Pod. Like, we know that you can get some pretty good expediency there.
Yeah, it's the disadvantage of SaHa's kids not having sent Pi to Pod and instead putting him on dungeon cleanup duty.
Well, and I gotta...
We don't know about that glove yet.
Here's my problem here. We didn't get to see the items here in Thieves, so, like, we can't say for sure if this is good or bad. But Pi into Thieves Town without that hammer...
Yeah, there was the second bow in Thieves, and Pi has silvers as a result, but he's already done Eastern.
Just 10 arrows for Zora for Leo. So JKLOL really clearing a lot here, just unfortunately, you know, just trailing a little bit on some of this. And yeah, Pi having to take the long way here through Thieves Town.
Yeah, I can't imagine that it was worth silvers to do this.
No.
Like, well, what's he really going to use them on? He's got Tempered Sword for Helma if he was going to Pod next otherwise. He can just move down, grab his hammer, and continue on while Talon was doing Desert.
Well, that's the thing. Myers are green pendant. It's not even Desert's green. Mire and Ice are pendants, and Swamp is the red crystal. Yeah, I'm not sure if I agree with Leo being in here either at this point.
Not having the easiest time of the statue mummy's room.
No, those Gibdos are really giving her the business today.
Yeah, there was that Bombos medallion in the Vanilla Big Key location for Skull Woods, but I guess during this route she's going to land on the Stumpy Glove and thus have access to the Mitzlock dungeons.
Yeah.
And it's fine, you have Tempered Sword. It seems like a reasonable enough play. It's not like this boss fight is going to get substantially better.
Hey, you see what Talon's doing?
Activating the flute?
Apparently, Talon did not activate the flute after Thieves Town or before Thieves.
Alright, that's a choice.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate choice.
And now he's up on the mountain.
This can't just be for the sword, can it? That and Ether Tablet? Oh, the bow. Wait.
He already has a bow. There was a bow in Thieves.
Are you really playing for silvers here? No? They're both playing for the mountain.
We have to have missed something during the deep fry of the stream.
Yeah.
There's gotta be something up here that we missed.
Meanwhile, Leo did also take down the Moth. I believe Leo also has Eastern Palace done at this point.
And Hera.
And Hera, yes. And I believe Pi has Hera.
Pi also does have Hera. It becomes a little important when they do indeed have to catch them all.
Yeah. And this is the makeup play now for SaHa's kids.
Time that
We
they
talked
really
about
couldn't afford to throw away here. Kaysen has been slowly closing this gap on Talon for quite a while now, and this, I think, is where we see that side of this match turn.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the other side of that is the unforced error for Talon on the flute activation.
Especially with the easy availability of Pod here, I find myself in a great deal of disagreement with this play from both Talon and Kaysen.
That's the thing, Kaysen
I don't
getting
like them being up here right now at all.
Kaysen getting the Tempered Sword as well as Talon, like, you guys have been great without it. And I think the part that confuses me is Kaysen, for NMG, like, hammer, boots, Helma's nothing to him. Like, that's a mountain climb he could wait on.
Yeah, wait until you've picked up the mitts, and then you can find out whether or not you can get into TR when you're doing Dark Mountain checks. Combo that in with Hera and picking the sword up.
Okay, Kaizen's gonna get his silvers here. They were inside a spec rock. Okay, I'm gonna guess he's comboing Pod Eastern. Oh, good. I was going to say, Kaizen, you're taking your flute out, right? Or is this is going to be Spike K for him?
Yeah, this will be Spike K for Kaizen.
And then I guess he'll go from Spike or from the pyramid to Pod.
Well, that's a heart container Leo's never getting.
Nope. But I mean, her health situation's not too bad with what she's got. Also with Blue Mail, has the silvers. Pretty good equipment for her, for sure.
Yep, 7 blue is nice, and then you've got the offensive firepower to make it stand up.
Yeah.
Here we go. Pi is going to do the big orange bomb here.
This makes a little bit more sense, and I think, like, I wouldn't be surprised if Leo does that on her end as well.
Mushroom and Ice Rod. So, all of a sudden, we're staring at a Samaria Go mode.
Yeah. And really, it is that for Go mode because, we've got all the medallions knowledge. Or all the medallions. And yeah, what is Talon going for him here? I missed what he grabbed.
I missed what he grabbed as well.
Ether.
Ah, okay, so he's making sure that he can go into any of the medallion dungeons once he finds the mitts. And now he's going to backtrack for Spike Cave, I'm assuming. Or the silvers, or both.
So what the situation is now, Leo needs to hit up Pyramid Fairy really after this. Kazdan and Leo both have their myths, and I think this is go-modable for Kazdan now at this point. I think he can just go
in there for him. Yeah.
Yeah, this is it for Pod for him. He's going to go straight to Helma. There's that specky clip for Leo.
And there are the mitts in the Stelco's basement for Pi. So now SaHa's Kids knows where those are. I would expect that Talon is probably going to be getting into follow mode of Pi at this point.
Yeah, Talon kind of cleaning up some old checks. Possibly going to hit Zora here as well, although his money situation's a bit of a problem. Yeah, that's 538 rupees for Talon. About to fall below Pod money.
guess he can do Eastern first and use the rupee room.
The only problem is he needs money for multiple things right now.
He's also going to have to pay for the bomb, but once he gets into pod, then he can use rupee basement at the cost of some time.
Oh shoot, Leo doesn't have bomb money.
Ah, the wonders of co-op info share.
Yeah.
And it looks like Talon knows exactly what his problem is here. He's going direct to Eastern, not going to pod yet.
I don't know, I still think you might be better. Well, expediency, efficiency-wise, you're better off doing the other, but hopefully Leo gets some money out of Hype Cave. I did not get to peek all the different items in there. So you're really kind of hoping for some rupees there if she's going to get to do Big Bomb.
There has to have been cash money somewhere because Kasten and Pi are sitting fairly pretty on cash right now.
The problem is Leo and Talon were the ones who did Zora. And Leo's not getting money. And Talon's going back to the right side. Oh boy.
Was this a miscommunication of where the big key was?
Yeah, it seems like it. Okay, it looks like Leo's going back for... Is this Arrow Game to get money or back for Smith Chain? Which one is she beelining? This is the Smith.
And barring this handing her some money, this is actually going to drain her of 10 additional rupees, which normally you don't even think about, but in this case, it could actually matter.
Yeah, this could, like, there's some good that can come of this if it's Samaria, but also it's kind of scary for them. Luckily, like, Ice Rod is required for Turtle Rock. Oh, there's the money.
Yep, there's the bailout.
I mean, Purple Chest into Pyramid Fairy, anybody?
And Talon is up to 129 rupees, is now going to be able to get into pod, so that's one problem solved, but he's still going to have to find another most of 100 to get the bomb to the pyramid.
Leo did the Smith. She is mirroring with Purple Chest. Interesting. Quake for Myers, so even if we need Ether, Kazan can get it on the mountain. And it's not Purple Chest either.
Pi gets Helma, Talon gets the Armos Knights.
Kazan checks checkerboard, and it's nothing.
And turns right back around. While Leoria is going into Caneless Ice Palace.
And Kazan, is this Pyramid Fairy?
This is going to be Pyramid Fairy. It almost has to be.
And that's good news for JKLOL. And my psyche. But Leo giving us the new info here of Ice Palace.
Ah, the classical mushroom for money play.
So as it stands right now, Kaizen's up a pod over Talon, but then Pie's up a pod over Leo.
And all the rest of the information is essentially fairly equalized aside from the things that Leoria has seen in Ice Palace.
Yeah. Hey, we're getting that mushroom turn in.
Yeah, it's 300. Pie turned it
Oh,
in.
did we? Sorry.
So it's not going to help Talon get to bomb money, that's for sure.
No, and unfortunately, this is a jet pod, so he's going to have to go to the back probably for that money.
Unless he wants to make some kind of an alternate play for it, which is just going to be a different expensive time.
And it looks like Jason's just going to join Leo in Ice Palace.
Interesting.
Yeah, we've got 3 runners in Ice. I mean, what we can say is Ped's dead, Green Pendant's dead, Dark Death Mountain or Mire for Kane, it looks like. And, like, JKLOL has done, I think, every other overworld check now. SaHa's kids still have Smith Chain. Nice bomb jump there from Leo. Although I'm questioning why she didn't go north at the crossroad anyway.
Because routing Ice Palace is difficult.
It is very hard. I have a simple answer for why Battle on Big Bridge is the Ice Palace music. Each dungeon gets a different Final Fantasy, and this is the one where we put it.
Those were some really clean Ice Palace bomb jumps. Oh,
yeah.
And then Pi gets knocked off after the fact. That is brutally unfortunate.
And that can really mess with a runner. When you get it that first time and only get knocked off, like, it starts this kind of moment. And you really feel for Pi here on this one. I like this overlap right now, kind of how it's working with Kaizen and Leo. They're kind of going back and forth a bunch. But it's working out really nicely where Leo's going to get iced tea here before Kaizen. Although I think that has to be the big key. No, it's the map. Okay, never mind.
Okay, so here's your question. Where is Talon going to go? Are we going to have everybody in ice?
Talon's going to get his ice rod. Let Pi finish up ice.
No, he's not.
You're right. No, he's not.
He would like to, but he will not.
This is one of those worrisome things. You know, you don't think about money. And he might not be thinking about money. And it is not Ice Palace for the Cane. He's going to see that big bomb and go, hey, I'm not running a charity here. Yo. Nice cold stare kill there for Kaze. And that is a cane ice. Not that it matters at this point.
With Turtle Rock being a crystal, you were never fine to get in GT anyway.
Yep. Gil, same, buddy. And there's a cold stare kill for Leo as well. Very nice on both members of JKLOL. And at this point, some of this late game execution is going to start making a bit of a difference. But Kaizen's going to go check out the powder, and I have to imagine Leo's going to get her ice rod.
Can I talk about how much I hate this positioning from Talon for the archery game? he's just begging to have one of those hands claim one of his arrows.
Yeah, he's a little farther away from the vendor than I would like. Because can't you get a little closer to that vendor?
Oh, you can be right up against him, and that's really where you want to be if you're doing 64 strats.
But Kaizen heading up the mountain, gonna get his, maybe get his Ether Medallion, but also will be hopefully finding a cane here. If not, we know the cane has to be in Mire. And that's the thing, like, Talon's now 2 dungeons down on Kaizen. Nice try, everybody.
No, it should still just be 1. He did do Tower of Hera. Unless I'm just completely
Oh, you're right.
blanking on it.
No, he did Hera. You're right. But it's not a great Ice Palace. I guess at this rate, Talon can wait.
Yeah,
But Talon's
no
also
reason
down
not
that Ice Rod and making checks.
Mm-hmm. Checks that
Okay.
JKLOL have already done.
Yeah, and Pi here into his cold stare fight. I have to imagine Leo might rush finishing. Yep, here's the pod finish. And a little bit of a hold your breath moment there for Pi, but does get down cold stare here.
Did have one more hit to give, but that's not a situation you really want to get into.
No. And unfortunately, part of that is just Pi had to burn that blue potion, getting over to getting through that Ice Palace bomb jump. Okay, is Kaizen going to find go mode here? Half magic is nice.
It's tough to turn that down, especially
And the cane.
when the red cane is 1 check away.
Yeah, and I know that both K's, like, I know Leo's going to get that half magic for sure.
Given the cane location, I don't think anyone's missing it.
Nope.
You can opt not to pick it up after your partner has gotten it, but I don't think any of these runners is going to make that choice.
Now, here's the thing at this point. Kaizen can skip Mire for now. This is GT into TR into GT, not TR or GT into TR.
Fancy a free butter sword?
Sure, why not?
It's going to be less free for Leoria.
And a little bit of dead rock pain there for Pi. And really, here's the thing. If I'm Kaizen, my goal now is I'm putting as much time ahead as I can.
getting into GT as early as possible, finding the big key as soon as possible, and yeah, just start trying to pull away.
Yep. For Kazan, this is purely execution now. You know, if he can finish, let's be real here. He's up a dungeon on Talon, up a dungeon on Pi. Like, he's looking to put minutes between himself and whoever finishes first on SaHa's kids right now. Like, and there's go mode for SaHa's kids. The unfortunate part here is, I gotta ask you, Mindium, would you bail if you're Talon?
No. Nope.
No. But I will point out here, you know, this is one of those things that's really important about co-op play. If you're unaware, like, the timing mechanism of this mode. Oh my gosh, Kazan, this pokey, buddy. There's a world where if Pi has a better Ice Palace bomb jump, he gets that Cane of Samaria info just that little bit faster. That probably keeps Talon out of Ice Palace.
And then he gets to go mode it with Icebreaker a little
Yep.
later on, which would be a little time back that, well, frankly, SaHa's kids kind of need at the moment.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough. Chat pointing out the timings.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting. Once you're already in the confines of Ice Palace, you're giving up all of the rooms you've already cleared to come back and do it later for a relatively minor time save.
Of course, what I will say is, like, if Talon had the rupees, he probably doesn't have that time either. Because, yeah.
And his IPPJ was really clean, so...
Yeah. No, it was a good Ice Palace bomb jump for sure. So, Pi's a little bit ahead of Leo right now. But also going to be the runner to full clear Turtle Rock. Although these chomps are giving him the business down to half a heart. Oof. He does have powder, though, so at least that's a little safer. And Kazan can skip Laser Bridge.
Not only can he will.
Yep. And Kazan into Trinex, and he's going to be our first runner into GT right after this. So he is going to start looking for a GT big key. And oh boy. By the way, shout outs to Leo for not slashing that jelly when it was electrifying.
That entire room is one gigantic trap.
Yep.
Oh no, Pi. Pi, you've lost something very important.
What happened to Pi?
He ran out of bombs trying to do the loop around.
Oh no. But yeah, here we go. Kazan head into Ganon's Tower. Gonna find that GT big key. And Leo does pick up her gold sword. I respect the play. She knows what's going to make her the most comfortable here at the end.
Yeah, it means a little less play with the fire and ice rods on Trinex. It basically frees the 1-in-1 on Ganon.
Yep.
And it simplifies just enough things that, yeah, I can absolutely respect it. You know where it is. You know that you're going to spend, what, 15, 20 seconds going and grabbing it in between the screen transitions and the platform ride.
Kaizen getting that small key in Hope Room. I know this is his normal route here. Leo having a bit of a time with her pokey key, but does get the fairies to refill her health anyway. Yeah, big shout outs to our trackers dealing with this one tonight with all the back and forth. Thank you to Professor Pixie and Winfox for keeping things up to date as best as possible throughout the shenanigans.
And now we have Pi heading for GT as well, and Kaizen is about halfway done with the basement already.
And Kaizen is also up a desert over Pi, so... And there it is. 12? I think?
12.
Yeah.
It's not a bad location. I expect under most normal circumstances with this small key here. No, Pi's leaving immediately. Never mind, I was thinking that Pi would go to Compass Room with that small key, but this looks like a play direct lane to the left. Going to claw back just a little time with that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I know for Kaizen, like, he's had enough of a lead on Leo. He probably said he's going to play his route instead of a DM route here. So... understandable. I'd be curious to see, you know, how if Pi continues here left, if this is right to full left, we're getting that ether medallion.
If you're going to ether that room, please do it from the top of the screen.
And Pi is going to continue, so he is going to make up some time. Nice bow shot there for Kaizen.
And Trinex down for Leoria.
Realistically, I'm looking at this, and it's, you know... Leo and Pi both have GT, Desert, and Mire to go. Talen's got Mire and GT. Kaizen's about halfway through GT. We'll still have to do Mire. The issue here for SaHa's kids is just how far ahead Kaizen is from Talen. Or Pi. Like, I don't know who's going to finish first for SaHa's kids, but whoever does is probably a couple of minutes minimum. Probably more behind Kaizen at this point. Like, Kaizen's to the top of GT already, and Pi's the closest one to him and still has to do Desert. Leo into DM room. She's going to get apparently a mirror shield.
Apparently all the things. Or
She wanted at least
all the things.
All the things. Apparently there was only one key in here. Yeah, Vortex pointing out this could be a 1-4-2-3 situation. It's conceivable, really. Talon's not that far behind Leo, but Leo still has to do desert. So
nice triple there by Kasten.
Yeah. And if you're not familiar with timing for week 1 here, it is based on average time, so it's not just the first runner or the first team to be done. But there goes Aga for Kasten. Leo getting a little bullied here in the spike room. I gotta imagine she might take safety room here. Yep, there's the safety room for Leo. And there's that big key for Talon. Kazen's just got to go rush over to Meyer now. Game 1 between these two teams was a 1-4-2-3 as well, where the average for 2 and 3 was better. So yeah, these races have been coming down to average time and not just finishes. Not a great Meyer 2 from Kazen there.
And Pi takes down Aga 2.
Leo, meanwhile, has through Landmo 2 as Talon's working through G3 now.
One other thing to notice, Talon never did bother to go get those silvers.
Oh yeah. Completely missed that. He did pick up half magic though. And Leo taking a death there in... And doesn't have a fairy. Oh no.
That may be the opening that SaHa's kids needed.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that I like Pi doing desert before Meyer here, given that you don't know what Meyer's layout is yet.
Yeah, hard to say.
And Talon is behind him getting over to that area, roughly speaking, but Meyer's the only thing that he's going to have to do.
And Leo catching a fairy. 2 fairies. Smart play. And really, at this point, every second for Kazin is going to make a difference.
The sooner he can put that dot done in, the more pressure he applies.
Yep.
Now, of course, that only works if your opponents are compulsive race room watchers.
True.
That is the final dungeon on the board for Kazin, that green pendant in hand, but it is not going to be turned in.
Kazin just going to be able to work through this Ganon really quite easy. Butter Sword is just going to wreck Ganon right now. I can hear him slashing. And I can hear him teleporting. I do hear that explosion, and that is Kazin going to finish this fight out. He's going to be our first finisher here. But we've got quite a race still to finish here. This is not over, but there's Kazin's finish with a 123.46 in the race room. So here's the question, my DM. How much time do we need to see? Is there going to be enough time for Leo here?
That death may have been the deciding factor, but we've got a handful more minutes for this one to play out.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we've re-entered slideshow mode. Or not even slideshow, I guess.
Next slide. Okay, very funny. Who stole the clicker?
What I can tell you is Leo is into Mire. Talen's in Mire. And Pie's in Mire.
Both of SaHa's kids do have their pendants from Vitreous.
Yeah, I can hear it, Vitreous blowing up right now. Because that's the SNES mix, I believe. Okay, that's got to be Talon then, because that's a save and quit. So yeah, Talon's definitely on Ganon right now. I can't imagine I's too far behind. They could both be on Ganon right now. I hear teleporting.
There is, in fact, teleporting. Can confirm, pig warps.
Well, that's a dead Ganon for one of the SaHa's kids. Looks like Talon and Pi finished pretty close together. Pi finished with a 128.28, and then Talon not far behind with a 129.15. If you're keeping track of time, that means the difference between Kazdan and Pi is about 4 minutes and 40 something seconds. 4 minutes and 42 seconds, I believe. So with that, Leo would have to finish with like a late or almost like a 134 or later for SaHa's kids to take this game. And what I'm hearing is Leo in, sounds like desert.
In desert.
Yep. And that's not a ton of time. Sounds like Leo got the big key. Chat saying it's a 133.57 is the time to beat, or 133.53, something like that. Leo has to finish before that for this to be the win for JKLOL today. Anything later than that, and it is SaHa's kids. That is Lambo down. And in terms of time, it looks like that happened. I don't know.
High 130, low 131.
Probably about there. So realistically, Leo should be pretty safe at this point. Just has to execute here on her Ganon fight and should seal it for JKLOL. Sorry we couldn't show you all of this nail biter, folks. This has been a great race.
It's been fun doing old-timey radio with you, though, Jesse.
Yeah. Has this happened before when it's you and me?
I feel like it has.
I feel like you and I are cursed to be the radio team. I hear teleports. I swear we're still here, folks.
We live. We live.
And it looks like what I see on the screen is that, hey, a pig is dead. Leo killed the pig and crossed the bridge at race time of 1:33:09, which does mean that JKLOL takes this race to start the season off 2-0.
Go ahead and get your GGs in chat for all the runners. That it would have been nice if we could have shown you more of it, but I hope that everybody was entertained for an hour and a half anyway, right?
Right, that was a great time. Let's see if we can get some runners in here and we'll talk and we'll be merry and all that fun stuff.
I think all of our runners are just staying in the green room in protest.
Maybe.
Aha!
Hey, we got a bunch of runners. We're joined by Kazen, Leoria, Pi, and Talon. GG, everybody.
Did you forget our name for a
GG.
second? GG.
No? Who are you?
Who is I?
Who? Who?
I don't know.
Windows I.
Yo.
Leo, have you calmed down?
No.
No, you're not okay?
No. Okay, dude. But no, it was a good race. It was yeah, no. I don't have good words. Sorry.
I I will tell you, we didn't get to watch a lot of the race. We were pretty much radio comms and radio broadcast tonight. We
Was
lost.
that for like the entire race?
No, we had about the beginning
It's not
had that
at the very,
happen a
very
lot.
end when we got to, like, after the race is done, we get to look and a slideshow, and you guys are doing radio style commentary.
Yeah.
So
No, so beginning a bit, and then once you guys hit Dark World, it was pretty stable throughout that. And then
Okay.
it only kind of, like right after Kazen crossed the bridge, we just took a dump again.
it just
So
died. Okay.
yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So
yeah,
we
'cause I
knew.
feel like after that is when things were really hitting the fan.
No, we did see your death, unfortunately, Leo.
Oh, okay, good.
So I will say, Gilgamesh had been watching as well and had been saying, he was disappointed not getting to see your guys' moments either for SaHa's kids. Some of your moments were still caught though. So yeah, everybody, I will say the best and the brightest moments tonight were caught
Okay,
for
good.
what it's worth.
All
in
right.
the swamp and then finding the hammer immediately after letting Leo do pod for no reason. That was great. Felt
Yeah.
spectacular about that.
Yeah, we were a little worried about that because I had that hammer right when he got done doing all that mess. I said, dude, just follow me, can grab your hammer before doing pods. We single dip it. And then it's got to have something like the mitts. I'm like, crap, how long have they had those mitts?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly,
Yeah.
like that.
We probably
was my
had them
glove.
a little bit earlier.
Yeah, it seems like we were
but-
probably pretty even.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
we might have had it earlier, but it cost a double dip is the problem. So
Right.
Yeah, we were weighing back and forth what was better or worse, and not having money for the big bomb, and that one hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, Leo and
Leo,
Talon. Yeah, Leo and Talon both on 50 or 40 rupees exiting Zora. And for Leo, that just meant getting a little bit more for Big Bomb. For Talon, that meant you needed like another couple hundred because you also needed pod entry. Luckily, smart play with Eastern getting the money. Unfortunately, did we skip a big key there as well?
And in Eastern.
Yeah.
I was so because we were just chit chatting away about what was coming next, and I was already thinking 3 steps ahead, and then I'm like, gosh darn it, I did that thing. So yeah, I mean, you can really see where I just blew this one right at the end, and it's on me this time.
And I even told him to not do Zora, just do Pod Eastern, and he just goes
Yeah,
to
he was
Zora.
like, no man, we'll just die on that sword. I'm like, no, with those mitts, we gotta hope that there's something stupid somewhere we can get back, and there wasn't, it turns out.
Yeah, I even told him, you're not gonna have money, don't do it.
Yeah, I was just like, no man, we have to debate on a bad check bailing us out, and nope.
Did you guys, by chance, Did you guys touch Meyer at all before?
No.
Go mode? Okay, good.
No, when he got the ice rod earlier, and so I got it before going to the mountain, and we're like, nope, it's just what we're doing last now, Rush GT.
Yep.
like that's kind of like there's a chance, depending on the order you do things, that dipping Meyer becomes a risk, but
yeah, the only thing it would have
without
gained us
Samaria and the entirety of DDM, like it's kind of hard to justify.
Yeah, there's
Well,
just the fact
not
that
go
extra
up
mountain
there.
climb
You
was
can't.
not
It's
worth
not
it.
like you can go into TR for nothing if you get Samaria. You're set. So
Yep, right.
And that's the thing. By the time like Kaizen, you rush into Ice Palace, kind of following Leo, and both of you clearing it at the same time. JKLOL, you two had everything else done besides DDM, Ice, Meyer. Like that
we
was
knew
it.
for certain it was either on DDM or in Meyer. So like,
Yeah.
there wasn't even a question there. We had the
Right.
whole
So
game
like
cleared.
instead, Talon, while Pi was clearing out Ice, you kind of had a couple of stray threads to hit on your end. For your team hitting up the Smith chain. And I think Powder with that?
No, Powder was in Ice Palace. I never got it.
Okay.
Yep, it was in Spike Room.
Yeah,
okay, so you had cleared out that one.
So yeah, we never checked the magic bat. He just kind of went to the mountain after because we were like, okay, at this point, if it's not on the mountain, then I'll just grab the powder. It has to be magic bat, so skip it and run.
Yep.
So yeah, the other way, and then just completely forgetting about the silvers because once I got that extra bow, and I'm like, all right, cool, I don't have to run up the mountain for those silvers anymore until later, and then later never came.
I, for one, appreciate the fact that you did not get silvers.
Right? Man, that would have been a number cruncher then.
Also, if I
All
had not,
right, man.
Given that you also had a bit of an adventure there on Vitreous that we were not really able to bring people the live footage of.
Yeah, I should have just put on the burner and dashed a little bit. I just didn't because I'm like, oh, it's fine. I got gold sword. This will be quick. And then I got pegged once or
Spoiler
twice.
alert.
I'm like, oh, this is getting closer than I like.
Spoiler alert, not as quick as we would
it's
hope.
all
Turns out-
great until it's not.
yep.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but just a couple of those, like you were saying, those mental flubs of not getting the silvers, not having the money for the bomb, and doing Smith chain instead. Like, there's your difference.
Yeah, but in
We
saying
were
that,
talking about it before that I think the greatest disservice of this one is going to be instead of seeing a really, really good close race, it's just going to be we lost.
if for those
No.
scoring, it was 24 seconds difference.
So good.
Yeah, no, it was still close.
Leo
This whole
tried to
division-
make sure of it.
Sorry.
Okay, look. It wasn't intentional. I wasn't trying. Or was I?
Second best person on our team. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so SaHa's kids, you unfortunately not bringing home the win in week 1. What's coming up in week 2? Kaz Boots week. Who you got? Who you throwing?
I think it's Gilgamesh and I.
Yeah, I'm going to be on a beach, just sipping margaritas, watching them float about in Kaz boots.
Yo, jealous.
I mean,
Right?
the beach meaning my bedroom, and
I was gonna say, wait a minute, I know better. I know better.
Okay, that's way better.
Yeah,
I'll be
we
in the
have.
cooking booth.
I think we have Amish Paradise.
Yep.
Who I know has one win in co-op. I don't know if they've done their second race yet.
Amish has not yet played their second game. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Worm versus Gilga. And,
Oh yeah, and I have
Zero Nix versus Talon.
Okay.
So
That sounds like a couple interesting matchups.
the SaHa
That's fun.
kids are notorious for not doing well in co-op AD. I think we're 1-6 now.
Yeah.
Oof, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and no, it's just us for whatever reason. This mode, this is our ultimate way. I mean, we all have a story of how we flipped a race. It's just, this is how we do it. And then we're like, all right, cool. Bounce back, I guess.
And we're just flood modes.
Right?
Yeah, just taking a look. Amish's second race is scheduled for, looks like Sunday at 5 p.m. That's Dapper and Zero Nix versus Chimo and Mystic. So
Nice.
Strong runners.
yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a race.
Yeah, especially Chimo. They're super good.
Man.
And for JKLOL, we got Fendrana Drifters.
Yeah. Leo Dodge.
Rest that wrist.
Fastest Dodge in the West, right here. Yeah, no. I will happily use wrist as the reason why I am not playing Kaz Boots. Even if it's
You're not
dodging
a terrifying team, no.
No kidding.
No. Yeah, no, this is 100% innocent. I am just... I'm gonna stop
By
talking.
dodging, you're giving them a chance. You're doing sportsman.
Yeah, look, I mean, I don't know if my trophy wife could handle this jelly right now. Sorry, that is 100% an inside joke that Wall Kicks is my trophy wife.
See, I'm just not sure
got real
how
quiet.
JKLOL can get away without putting up the person who beat Jim in Kaz Boots tourney. What was that, a year ago now? Not gonna throw out the green pendant Leoria.
That was wait,
Pendant
no, I didn't
power?
beat Gem.
Oh,
I bet Zelga.
Oh, did
Same thing, ish.
No,
ish.
adjacent.
Yeah, that's pretty adjacent. I'd say.
Parallel at the very least.
no. See, here's the thing. We already discussed this. I was like, if I'm gonna play, it's just gonna be a pendant pod, and then I'm just gonna meta one way or another, and I'll decide on the fly. That's all that would happen. No, I'd rather not.
Or was it Kyong? Somehow I'm coming up with the name. Kyong.
Yes.
Kyong is the name you were looking for.
That's what I
Kyong
was looking for.
is one that I beat Zelga and Kaz Boots. Kyong was SGL, I think.
I have quite the record. Maybe I'm just gonna dodge this week instead.
No. No. It's just no. Have I said no enough, guys?
No.
Just a few times.
Okay.
In terms of what we've got, there are some races still going on, I believe. There might be a race happening over on either SpeedGaming 4 had a race start at 10:10 that might be still going between Beats from the East and Bottles on Empty. That's Moogle Charm and Julo Ninja versus Maniacal and Maximum Barnage. Great compare there with JP and Njembro. And then I don't know if this one is still going or if it ended already, but over on ALTTPR League 2 was Adirondack Rick and F. Coughlin of the Bomb Squad versus Adalor and Chloe Prower of Oops All Foxes with Barceratops and Danny Music on the call. I'm guessing that one's over though, because the 940 races are pretty much done at this point. So yeah. Tomorrow there is plenty more action. I will also say we do have an early race happening on SpeedGaming, 4:10 a.m. Eastern Time. Potato Pouch versus Motabashin. Magno and Tam versus Name Faker and Faker Jr. That one is getting restreamed on Speed Gaming. It looks like we're still looking for some trackers, so if you're available and want to, go for it. Speed Gaming 2 is going to have Bratwurst Buddies versus Team Hime, Mr. Ed and Skelly versus Ravis and Kermit at 1:10 p.m. Bolas Azulas versus Noble Foxes, Matt Cap and Kaede versus Obscure Lifeform and Nobly. That's the second game of that group. No restreams yet decided here, but first game between the Last Locationeers and the Farm Friends. Scottish Brave and Structural Mike versus Tabby Cat and Wind Fox. Looks like those are all the races for tomorrow in the Invitational League, and I am sure there's plenty also in the Open League that I have not seen if there's restreams for yet. I do not see any yet there either, so do keep watching all the stuff on Speed Gaming and ALTTPR League for more ALTTPR League action. But we'll say, do make sure to follow all of our runners. And of course, big shout outs to our trackers tonight, Professor Pixie and Windfox. Thanks to them for trying to keep up with what was just a mess of a restream for all of us, but we got through it. And thank you, Maya DM, for joining me tonight.
Yeah, Jesse, we did the thing.
We
seem to have this effect on the Speed Gaming restream service, but I don't know. We'll talk to Drossi. We'll fix it in post, right?
Yep.
Have a wonderful rest of your night, everybody. I think we should just go ahead and sign this one off. We've done the things we need to do.
Yep.